Come on, MACC. You're supposed to fight corruption. What is happening with MACC? People not even a suspect, witness, go there alive, come out dead. Kematian rakan kita Teoh Beng Hock bukan satu perkara kecil. Teoh ialah kaki tangan yang bekerja di bawah di pejabat Yan Yong dan bekerja kuat kerana Teoh bersetuju untuk bersama-sama kita dalam usaha merakyatkan ekonomi Selangor. Saya tahu, saya merasai keadaan yang dilalui oleh saudara Teoh. Saya tahu kerana saya sendiri telah dirasuk oleh Pusuran Jaya Pencegah Rasuah MACC.
So much has been said about Teoh Beng Hock. There's deeper than the grief, deeper than the shock and the horror that we all experienced on Thursday. I think underlying all that is really deep-rooted anger that the public institutions in Malaysia are really biased, and that they work very, very directly and openly against the political opponents of the Barisan Nasional. And we're very, very troubled and upset that Teoh Beng Hock has become an innocent victim, a lifeless body which has been greeted by mounting disappointment and mounting questions over what actually really happened.
From the very little information that we have, all evidence lead to the perpetrators being the MACC itself. They've not been able to give us a clear answer as to what happened between the so-called time 3:45 when he was supposed to have been let go until the time the body was found. The answers they've given, it's not something common. And to say that someone chose to remain in the place after he's been released sounds very suspicious.
We're very convinced that based on the track record of public institutions in Malaysia, especially the police force and now the MACC, that there was a very clear element of torture, where he was probably also physically tortured. We know that he was questioned for hours on end, and that the questioning, according to the MACC official, ended at 3:45 in the morning. And by international standards, that itself is tantamount to mental torture. And whatever other further abuse he experienced is now going to be left unanswered, because there were no cameras to actually help substantiate the information, and there was no evidence left behind to suggest what actually caused the death plunge of Teoh Beng Hock.
But in any case, if they insist that he has committed suicide, the question then is, what made him commit suicide? We have a case where a girl who was raped and assaulted and bruised terribly later on committed suicide a couple of hours later. The rapist was found to be guilty of murder of that woman, despite the fact that he had raped her and she committed suicide. The causation to that cause of her to commit suicide or to her death was very closely linked because she was raped. So in other words, that you find your victim as it is. So if you say that I raped her but I didn't know she was going to kill herself, that's not good enough. So in this context, that you tortured that person or you caused something to make that person jump off the window, it's not good enough to say that you are not responsible. They can be charged for murder.
As a city councillor of MBPJ and part of the Selangor state government, we're deeply troubled that public institutions in Malaysia are being used to undermine innocent people, to undermine young people with ideals, young people with courage, and young people who have actually taken the step to try and bring change to the country. And I would echo the call for a public inquiry, and that the officers who had questioned him to be suspended indefinitely until the investigations are complete.
每天看到赵明福的新闻的时候，哎呦，大大小小啊，就尤其是他的同事写说，或者是他的记者写的时候，记者其实很多人很感慨，然后写关于他的家人的一些报道，我每次边吃早餐边掉眼泪，然后不能停的那种，就觉得就是你奉献政治，或者是你从事政治这个行业，真的是不容易。
We want to bring changes. What are the changes? Number one, we want the police to be